in a different things, like if we are talking about the shampoos, conditioner, gels, serum, tonic and other things. But shampoo and the conditioner in a very big in the market for the hair growth industry, that covering 40% of all over the market. Hair science. I think so everyone is everyone is facing from the childhood, the olden age, how hair growth, how it falls and happen. Just I would like to give a brief description about that hair, how it grows and how it's happening. That hair, you can see about that, like how it's a defining is a dermal papilla cell. So they are composed is a keratin, that is a called like is a protein structure. And that surface is showing the hair root, which is including the hair follicle, the stringin. The dermal papilla actually is a very having a major role in the hair growth cycle. Each human head carries 1 lakh hair follicle. It depends person to person, but it's a generalized things. That lifetime average age follicles grow and a new hair around there 20 times. It's normally, but sometimes hair losses happen, sometimes nutrient lag, sometimes is a different condition is changes. About 3 to and what is the hair growth for the healthy hair is the 3 to 4 millimeter per day. But really it happen? I don't think so. Now these days we are suffering lot of problem. So if it is hair growth is happen 3 to 4 millimeter per day, I don't think so that anyone is suffering for the hair loss. But it's not happening because our hair is not healthy now these days. So just about that, continue about that hair growth. And this is a loss is a completely random. Hair growth is also completely random. It's not basically about some condition. It's a heredity and the stress condition as well. Over the years of talking about the number of follicles is capable growing hair and decline naturally completely. This is a hair growth cycle is divided into 3 phases. Growth phase, that is called anagen phase, is having a major effect and the major cycles to having a hair growth sections. Now this is a catagen is a transition phase. It's only for the 10 to 20 days. And the third one is a telogen phase, is a resting phase, is a approximately 100 days time period. Now, when we are going for the hair loss or that hair treatment, what we have to conclude that we have to increase this growth phase and we have to decrease this telogen phase. So our ingredients and the product, how we are defining like it's increasing the anagen phase and the decreasing the telogen phase because of the product treatment. Hair loss, how it's happening and what is the reason behind. I just don't want to go in a more scientifically, just giving a brief description. If anyone is having any question, you can ask in a detail. Like is a DHT is a 5-alpha reductase activity enzyme. Basically, it's having a role for that converting to testosterone in the DHT level, which is responsible to the hair follicle. We can see like that. This is the healthy hair, how it's reducing is thinner and after that is falling the dead because of 5-alpha reductase activities. This is the shrinkage of the hair follicle. Gradually we can make out how hair is healthy is becoming thin and after that reduction in the ANT ratio, anagen and telogen phase, what I described before that, and result in the hair loss, and this is the alopecia how we used to call. Normal hair growth cycle, what we described earlier, in the same you can make out is a biological mechanism. DHT is having a very big role for the hair growth as well hair loss. If it is more DHT, hair losses happen. So we have to reduce 5-alpha reductase activity to convert testosterone level to DHT. What product is available in the market to reduce hair growth? Minoxidil. Everyone is aware about that. Minoxidil, it's a available product but it's a alcohol soluble. How it's work? Mechanism of action I just would like to describe. It's activate the potassium channel. Because of dilation of bloods, how it's a converted the minoxidil is inactive is converted to minoxidil sulfate and activate the potassium channel, and nutrient is active in the enter in the bloodstream and is giving a more strength and the matrix proliferations in the hair. So hair growth it happen. But limitation of available product, what is it? Everyone is aware about that. It's a very big problem all globally for everything, because minoxidil and other hair growth stimulant is a alcohol soluble. If they are using, we are also using in a formulation. After that what happened? In a formulation it's converting like evaporation, it happened, and the scalp become dry. Scalp become dry, then right away hair trim. That means hair loss, one more factor we are getting the hair loss. Now, this is a limitation for that hair, minoxidil and other ingredient. Do you want to free from that? My answer is yes. About you, I feel yes. I can't hear.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. So, now Kumar Organic presenting in a new molecules in a water soluble ingredient is a hair growth stimulant. Sector is a copixyl, copperol and minoxidil. I just going to brief description about that specification, clinical studies, efficacy data, and we are having a patent pending for the same. Copixyl Aqua, I just would describe about that Copixyl Aqua is a diamine pyrimidine oxide. Why we have to use for Copixyl Aqua? First of all is a water soluble. I define that. Now, it regrowth lost hair. We can define in a next slide how has to regrowth happen. Next, boost hair thickness, because Copixyl Aqua is having a multifunctional compound together, so it's giving the thickness and the boosting of the hair. Third, if I'm going to talk about that, is optimized hair growth, that means anagen and the telogen ratio. So it's required for that more longer hair growth. Fight against hair loss, that means 5-alpha reductase activity. We have a clinical studies, we have a VKC study in vitro as well as a human base, where it show Copixyl is having a 5-alpha reductase inhibition. Result in the after the human study, what will see that results in the visible hair growth and no dry scalp is basically what we want from our formulations, and there is no dandruff, there is no itchiness. Efficacy study, DHT, what we did as an in vitro assay, 5-alpha reductase activity, which I described earlier, why it's required for that hair growth or the hair loss, how it's correlate. Effect of DHT and the 5-alpha reductase activity. We can make out. After that convertase is the presence of 5-alpha reductase, its convertase the testosterone to the DHT, that is a dihydrotestosterone. Now we can make out how DHT affected the hair thickness, and after that is coming the hair fall. So we can see 5-alpha reductase activity is converting a DHT, I explained earlier, and this is a shorten the hair growth cycle. We can see here how it's shortening the hair growth and the miniaturizations of the follicle and ultimately hair loss. Now what we did in a study protocol, we did 5-alpha reductase activity is the DU145 cells is the prostate cancer cell line, which is producing the testosterone level. This is the result. We compare our study is the available market product, flutamide, finasteride, and the control values of testosterone, and then market available 5% minoxidil as well. What we are getting the result is a very shocking and very good for us also. This we can see this level Copixyl Aqua is equivalently reducing 5-alpha reductase activity with the finasteride and the flutamide. So that's what we require for the hair growth, and it's very beneficial for the hair, reducing the hair loss. Mechanism of action. If 5-alpha reductase exactly is inhibiting how it's work, we are blocking the DHT mechanism, then hair loss is not happening. If we are blocking that DHT modulation, again is giving a hair regrowth. Ultimately, we are getting a hair regrowth and we are reducing hair loss. This we can make out. Here DHT shrinkage that derma cell is reducing the hair cells. As well as Copexil, when we are giving a treatment with the Copexil Aqua, how it's giving a hair regrowth with a shorter time of period. Clinical efficacy, just want to talk about it. We are not checking only in vitro assay. We did our human study for the 60 patients and still is going on, and then it shows very beneficial and very good efficacy in alopecia, male patterns, baldness. Mode of fruits, so the administration what we choose is a topical application. 1 ml we applied for the twice in a day. This is the application what we did. What is the primary and the secondary endpoint what we selected, like how we have to detect, how we have to choose, what parameter we have to take, and not only the clinical study, biochemical, hematological study we check, because we are going to apply for that topical application. So it's required all biochemical, hematological parameters. And I just would like to describe here not only the biological level, we did in some molecular level as well. mRNA level also we checked here. Data is would like to describe here the previous study before starting the studies as well as the end of the study. Both the parameter is a demographic level, is a height, systolic BP, and the pulse rate, respiratory rate, hematological, as well as the biochemistry, sodium, potassium, all level we checked, and we found after the treatment of the 5 months is all same as a normal stage. mRNA studies, this we did for the minoxidil. Just you observe here is a 6.3% is improvement after 4 months. For the minoxidil 5% market solution is available. In the next slide, just we want to compare, so please remember result and the discussion for our clinical studies. These are the efficacy data where we check few studies like hair density, hair growth improvement, as well as anagen and telogen ratio, which I mentioned earlier. It's required for that how we can define our hair growth is happening or we are reducing the hair loss. So we can make out is a gradually 2, 4 and 5 months is gradually increasing. Hair improvement in the hair growth is also happening, and the anagen telogen ratio is also increasing. Means is the starting age is increasing and the end section is a decreasing. Now, clinical studies. Here this is a human scalp hair. We can make out is a 2 month, 4 month and the 5 month study. Is a hair growth is increasing. We can make out where here is a one single here twice, thrice and other thing is coming. Is a 5 month of treatment. I just mentioned about the biochemical parameters. What about the molecular? I just want to mention we did a mRNA expression. I mentioned 5% of minoxidil is showing 6.3%. The same time Copexil Aqua in a mRNA level is showing the same time is a 12.6, just double. Is a lower concentration aqua grade and the double mRNA expressions. In the same time, we did the safety study on all patients and we are not observing any severe side effect, any itchiness, any dandruff is happening. Copexil Aqua, how it's effective? Because of 5-alpha reductase activity, because of the clinical evaluation, because of that safety data. Excellent, because it's having a molecular level, is a mRNA level, is a comparative safer, as well as is a very good hair growth stimulants. This is a specification for Copexil Aqua, what we have in this one. What is Aqua? This is a multifunctional compound. What is behind it is a carboxylic acid group. It's a oxythioazolinane as carboxylic acid. It's having an antioxidant property as well. Actually, Copexil Aqua we can use in a different type of formulation like shampoo, serum, tonic, gels, spa creams, oils and other things also, and which is very much required for the hair growth. This is the one example for the prototype formulation. I just would like to mention here, we are just going to launch with the micro labs for the coming March or April for the new Aqua grade product in the market. Yeah, right, Mr. Narendra? Yeah. Recommended doses, what we are using in application, as I mentioned, is a serum, lotion, shampoo, mascara, conditioner, spray in the cream. The percentage HPCi Aqua we are using 1.5%. Now, not only the HPCi Aqua, we have other grade water soluble is the minoxidil Aqua as well as copperol Aqua, and it's readily available for the formulation. Thank you. Just would like to take one more minute, because this is our product launch for us as well as for Aqua Grade. So I would like to invite my all team members as well as Microlab team. If Mr. Deepak Desai is also here,
can you
so
make
please
5
can you
minutes
come on the
like
stage
constant?
and
Because
participate with us for that launch.
Please
Mr. Narendra. Murli sir, please.
Just cover the dais.
Kawali sir, where is he?
Don't be afraid.
Please, please, and I need all support from you people, please. Sir.
So thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you very much.
Team.
Yes, actually this is our team where we are launching in our Aqua Grade and other things is also in a market in a 2014 in a March. I think so. I don't take you much time. Please, this is our product launch.
Okay, congratulations and thank you again for your presentation.
Yes.
So we will now have that coffee break that has been postponed.
And stall number is a 131.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Please come and ask and meet us. Yes.
But there are still 10 remaining minutes. Please make the best use of it and be back at 10 to 4. Thank you.
Camera giving. Wait, sir.
Yes.
First of all, it gets costly.
Yeah.
It's not a stay-on product. Then how does it affect?
No, actually, I'm just talking about that different formulation. If you are using for the serum, if you are using for the tonic, like twice in a day, you are applying, it's a longer period. If you are using the